John Keats said, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." Classic designs are all about beauty, elegance, and sophistication. I first fell in love with classic cars in the 1960s and 70s. It was easy back then because cars were built with more emphasis on aesthetics than comfort and utility, and I loved to see, experience, and enjoy them all the time. The Fullerton building is a gorgeously designed neo-classical building that has been well preserved. But more than a thing of beauty, it is also a thing of history, having housed important institutions such as the General Post Office, the Singapore Club, and the Economic Development Board. And to appreciate its 90 years of heritage is to have a feel for our nation's cultural roots.
Classic to me is timeless, something that endures. My love for classic cars only started when I was working as a car designer in Fiat. At that time, I had two colleagues who were classic car enthusiasts. So one owned a Renault Fuego and the other a 1983 Alfa Romeo Giulietta. And they brought me around the scene, and through them, I learned about the classic car culture. But as I developed my skills in car design, I started appreciating classic car designs in different ways. As part of the car design industry, I found it important to understand classic designs because without knowing the industry's history, how can we innovate and redefine the future? And don't we all want to create the next masterpiece? Nowadays, when I spot a classic car, I often stop and take tons of photos. But they're not just for viewing, they're also for use as inspiration for my own work. As the Fullerton building celebrates its 90th anniversary, it remains a classic silhouette in Singapore's skyline. And just like classic cars, its timeless design serves as an inspiration for the nation even today.
And with the passing of time, it's the responsibility of young people to continue the legacy in their own way. The passion for classic cars is something like an inheritance in my family. The first car I owned was an Austin Healey Sprite. It was given to me in 1963 by my father, who owned a car import company. His gift sparked off my lifelong interest in cars. And with that car, I went on to win several trophies at sporting events. Over the years, I developed a deep interest in restoring classic cars. That inspired me to continue my father's interest, but in a different way. I set up a classic car restoration workshop, which has since helped many enthusiasts conserve our classic car heritage in Singapore.
For as long as I can remember, I've always watched my dad at his workshop keeping classic cars looking good and running well. Over the years, I've taken on the responsibility as his son to continue the family business. I've been bringing my daughter, Avery, to the garage as often as I can, and she rides with me regularly in my classic cars when I take the family out. Although she's only 2, I hope this exposure from a young age will inspire her to pursue an interest in classic cars when she grows up. Who knows? Maybe she'll eventually take over the business too.
When I was young, the Fullerton building was Singapore's General Post Office. Having withstood the test of time, it has since transformed into a grand heritage hotel.
The Fullerton Hotel Singapore has done a great job reminding younger Singaporeans of the legacy of our forefathers. By keeping the building's classic design well maintained and holding regular heritage events like the Fullerton Concours d'Elegance, they inspire the next generation to continue our story. And I'm very happy to be sharing my family's classic car legacy as we celebrate the 90th anniversary of this historic building.